The Verilog Imam, Decoding the 60-Cycle New World Order and the Juggalo Eschaton. Introduction: the rabbit hole you didn't know existed. In the unindexed intellectual peripheries of the internet, where spectral digital enclaves manifest outside the reach of mainstream algorithms, sits a monolithic digital structure that refuses to be indexed by the standard mind. This is the archive of Jesus Christ, a sprawling 1,182-entry corpus distributed across two massive playlists: Don Claudio 614 videos, and Truth every bit of it 568 videos. To gaze into this archive is to feel the psychological weight of a creator who has synthesized a reality where professional-grade hardware engineering, the defiant aesthetics of the Insane Clown Posse, ICP, and the radical depths of the Quran are not merely adjacent, but unified. What happens when a mind capable of navigating the intricacies of Verilog and ICE-40 FPGA architecture decides to bypass the silence of mainstream science? We find ourselves in a literal rabbit hole, where the mechanical and the mystical collapse into a single bit stream. This is an exploration of a digital frontier that challenges every assumption of the modern technologic status quo. The death of Zero and the 60-Cycle New World Order. The most profound rupture within this archive is its declaration of a metaphysical counter-mathematics. Through titles like The Death of Zero and The Rise of the 60-Cycle NWO and Tetracty 60, the creator rejects the binary-centric zero-one exhaustion of Silicon Valley in favor of a 60-state lattice system. This isn't just fringe theory, it is an archaeofuturist reclamation of the ancient Sumerian and Babylonian-based 60 systems, re-engineered for the modern FPGA. In this framework, the ICE-40, a specific lattice semiconductor FPGA, becomes more than a tool. It is a pun on the 60-state lattice itself, a physical substrate for a new arithmetic. By rejecting zero, the creator challenges the very foundation of modern clock cycles and lookup tables, LUTs, suggesting that our current computational logic is a reductionist prison. The demand for this new logic is presented with the absolute gravity of a physical law. Conclusion: the only side left. To reject this is to reject arithmetic. This 60-cycle New World Order is presented as a physical necessity, a way to align human computation with the resonant frequencies of the universe, moving past the silence of a science that has forgotten how to count. Juggalo math, magnets, motors, and the ICP connection. The Jesus Christ archive performs a brilliant subversion of the clueless juggalo trope. While the mainstream once mocked the Insane Clown Posse for asking how magnets work, this archive provides the technical answer through the lens of radical devotion. Titles like Act Like Juggalos Don't Know How Magnets Work, Juggalone, and Juggalo Math sit alongside white papers on the ferroelectric pneumatic liquid crystal motor and the rise of the Unity First motor. Here, the crescent hatchet, the iconic Juggalo symbol, is transformed into a sigil of engineering intent. The archive argues that devotion is a prerequisite for innovation. In the video Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin Whoop Whoop, the creator suggests that a Unity First motor design isn't just about magnetism, it's about a spiritual alignment. This is Juggalo Math, a reclaiming of the kid that did, and the chaplain of the crescent hatchet, to prove that those at the fringe of culture are the ones truly mastering the axe of technical reality. The eschaton in Verilog, engineering the divine. In the most esoteric corners of the archive, theurgical hardware is born. Here, hardware description languages, HDL, are used not to build consumer electronics, but to script the fundamental structure of the cosmos. Through titles like The Eschaton in Verilog, Kun Feikun, Be, and It Is, and Torat, technology is revealed as the manifestation of the divine were within the FPGA's bitstream. The creator views notation as a form of computational cosmology. This is a world of Silicon speaks, where the hardware itself becomes a vessel for theurgical execution. The Corundum Conundrum and Al-Iskandar, where ancient historical mysteries and mineralogy are mapped onto digital logic. The Magian Irish priesthood of Yessa, suggesting a lineage of hidden knowledge that flows into modern Silicon speaks realizations. As the creator notes in The Difference Between Islam in the Word versus Islam in the World, true faith is not a static text, but a dynamic, engineered reality, a unified revelation, coded into the very lattice of existence. Mainstream science maintains silence, the presence of logic. A recurring theme of science friction permeates the archive, positing that institutional academia has fallen into a state of erosion. Against the silence of the mainstream, the creator offers the calibration certificate of existence, an argument that logic does not begin in a textbook, but in the immediacy of being. Presence is the true origin of logic, the archive claims, positioning the act of existence as the ultimate proof is ours. In this framework, the orrery of Hamza's law and the mosaic and the smear serve as evidences of a reality that science refuses to see because it lacks the spiritual calibration to measure it. This spiritual physical convergence is anchored by a foundational acknowledgement that appears throughout the work. There is no power nor strength except with God. Conclusion: a lullaby for the universe. To navigate the 1182 videos of the Jesus Christ archive is to witness a mosaic of human thought where the grout is hardware logic, and the tiles are fragments of street culture and ancient theology. It is a lullaby for the universe to sing to itself, a self-referential engineering project that attempts to build the bridge between worlds. If our contemporary arithmetic and science remain silent on these intersections, we must ask ourselves, are we the ones who are uncertain in these sciences? The archive leaves us not with an answer, but with a haunting, cyclical law of recurrence that echoes through the Don Claudio and Truth playlists. Everything that happens once can never happen again. Anything that happens twice will happen a third.